Even if I had the chance, I probably still wouldn't, just because at this point it's turned into more of like a brother-sister relationship more than a friendship. And once you have to be friends before it gets to that level.
Yeah, we are back. The Out of the Berg podcast. I just messed that up. But the Out of the Berg podcast is back, y'all. Yeah, man. How have my friends been? It's been 2 weeks. Actually, it's been longer than that because Gerard was here last week. Avery, Shamar, y'all haven't been here. How y'all been?
Been cool. More the same. I just got done doing yard work for however long. A little tired, but I'm here.
I am here as well. Had a pretty exciting weekday. So yeah, made things kind of go by quicker.
Oh, can't complain, man. Another day, another dollar out here.
Yeah, I see y'all. Not much has changed with me. Just my job is my job, and my life is my life. No recent changes. Same old with me. But we've been putting in a lot of work with the pod, and yet again, for the listeners out there, we're gonna do this every week now. So y'all get an episode every week.
We back full time.
Yeah, we're back full time. But man, the last episode we did, I think was the DMX thing, addressing the beige issue, light skin, whatever, and then also the R&B pop stuff. But briefly, or just if y'all could give me, because Chris gave me his, Gerard gave me his. Abe, Shamar, what is some of your favorite R&B pop songs, artists? Don't have to be much. I could just throw some out there.
Okay. I'm still trying to think, but all right, I'll think of something. So I listen to mostly metalcore and a couple other pop punk records. But to talk about specifically R&B and pop songs, I don't know. I haven't listened to anything recent as far as R&B goes. Same thing for pop, but I am trying to branch out and get my feet wet. So as far as songs go, I don't really know. I stick mostly to artists, and then after artists, I'll try to find someone that sounds similar to just figure out what I like.
Okay. I mean, just if not with the R&B and pop, like what artists do you listen to, just for the listeners? They could just do their own little research.
For the R&B and pop,
not necessarily. It don't have to be R&B.
It
don't
have to be anything new.
Yeah. The stuff you listen to.
I guess Chris Brown, mostly because he gets out. I mean, because he's so big in the industry. A little bit of Erica. I hate John Legend, but I do like some of his songs. They're catchy. Yeah, those are the main ones that are sticking out top of my head at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Gerard told me to ask you, do you listen to Paramore?
Yes, I love Paramore. I'm a Para whore. Do we have to bleep that out?
No, you got.
No.
I think
I haven't bleeped out any of the words y'all saying. Like
you got because I went back to listen because a lot of the songs Gerard picked, they were like retro, like honestly, like when we were in elementary school and middle school. Misery Business, Michelle Branch, all these stuff. I'm like, dang.
I love Misery Business. That whole album was just. It was really cool because it was like the tail end of the grunge period. So you got to see a lot of cross collaboration before, they branched off into more alternative stuff.
Also, I know this is probably old, but Avril Lavigne.
Oh my goodness. Fun fact. Avril Lavigne was actually Haley's mentor for a while. And that's how she got all those pitches and stuff. I forgot when they fell out, but she trained her for a bit.
Yeah. Shout out to Gerard. He made me go into a whole worm of like old music, old stuff like that. I was like, what?
The middle school hits are always solid. Always solid. Can't beat them. Undefeated.
Yeah. All right, Shamar, if you have any.
Really don't listen to like anything new, honestly. Throwback type of guy. So a lot of Michael, some JT, He That Shall Not Be Named, I feel like
R. Kelly.
The one in prison.
I was about to say, you missing Shamar. Peter over here naming them and everything.
Oh, no, he that shouted.
You did name him. Did you not?
Listen,
you just named
said his name.
Listen. Let me put this out there before the fans get. I said I put a disclaimer out there that homie is like that, but his music, But yeah, continue. Because he trying to set me up.
Hey, look, I mean, you just said his name right before, so he ain't set you up for nothing. But yeah, those are really some bigger ones. But then, like, newly, the one dude that has a song with Bruno Mars, the new one,
Anderson .Paak?
Anderson.
Yeah, I've heard he has a pretty solid catalog, so I think I might start giving him more of a listen and see what's popping with him.
Something.
Yeah, I think the song they had was up for a Grammy. Or I don't know,
or like some type of word. I can't remember.
They performed "Leave the Door Open."
Yeah, good song. But yeah, in terms of R&B and pop, that's really it. I mean, then pop, the middle school classics always slap.
Okay. Yeah. That episode, we gave our favorite songs, artists. It was very fun. We started that. We actually did that last year.
Almost a year today.
Yeah. We did that last year. It was a fun thing, Gerard. I always say Gerard's list kind of stands out to me because it actually made me go back. The stuff I listen to is really just what I think. Me and Chris, it's just like the average black. It's the average black list, but yeah, that was definitely a fun episode. Give me 1 sec.
It.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. But, to touch on some of the weekly topics, start with the first one, if we shall. Did y'all see Dr.Umar?
I watched him.
Sure.
I watched him. I'll just leave it at that. How
do I break this down? Let's because he said a lot in this interview. I'm gonna just touch on.
How about you just like explain briefly what it was that he was on the air for?
All right, so Dr. Umar, as you know, is a Pan-Africanist, very strong Pan-Africanist. He came on there to basically talk about race relations, interracial marriage, politics, which I don't know if we should dig deep into, but Biden stuff. He basically came on there and said a lot of controversial things, especially what he's got a lot of heat for was the interracial relationship.
Not the police brutality or the President Biden stuff or
the police. That one I could see. People weren't too mad at that because I think black people are kind of very similar thoughts with him in that regard. Mm-hmm. But I think with the interracial relationships, he kind of is trying to say that if you're not married to your own,
you're hurting the race.
You're hurting the race, and that has caused a lot of conversations. But what he was trying to say, and I somewhat agree, he's saying marriage is an economic thing. It's not really a love thing. And to me, I think he's somewhat telling the truth on that. Because when you go get divorced, you're not asking for your love back, are you?
Nah, give me my money.
You're asking for some money. And if you marry outside of your race, what have they done for you? What have they done to help yours? That's what I think he's looking at. He's looking at a balance of, okay, if we get married, am I going to be that guy that is going to do more for your culture, or are you going to help mine? And from that standpoint, I do agree with him. However, I don't agree with his conclusion because you can't stick everything in one boat.
Which he likes to do very often.
Which is why I disagree with him. However, his points And some of the stuff he says, it creates good conversation, and he has good points. But
that's why a person like him is so like disruptive to like a lot of people, because like he'll say something like, okay, that's a point, you made a point there, okay, you made another point here, then he's going to take you to an extremist ideology and just like, okay, where are you getting this correlation from? But the people who aren't picking up on that correlation heard those two truths earlier and said, okay, well, this guy's already told me two, why is he going to tell so this third thing is obviously also a truth.
Yeah,
they're going to go and then they'll go like, okay, so I'm following his ideology, so now I'm of one mind with him, and then he's converting people to his ideology, and it just kind of keeps spreading that way, which is kind of how he moves.
Okay.
Yeah, he's quite charismatic and an excellent orator. So he says just enough about a particular topic that he doesn't really know much about, but it's related to Black people. So he's able to make this whole rhetoric based off just certain strategies that he had. I tried to look him up. I couldn't find too much information about his education. He claims he has 6 degrees. I know he practices I don't know the correct word for it. Some type of clinical stuff.
But he's a psychologist.
He's a psychologist. I thought he was a sociologist. Because
I'll go look that up, but I'm pretty sure I heard psychologist. But continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he was but that was just one of those techniques, if you will, to persuade people. Is like, here, let me be louder and let me show that I have a deep understanding of this knowledge, even though I don't know much of it. But I'm confident in my approach. It's I forgot the word for it, but it's very interesting, and it makes you more persuasive in arguments.
His charisma.
Mm-hmm.
To add on to that, I think to people do see him as a parody because he's so strong with the Black issues. And I'm gonna hold you, man. Sometimes he sound like he rapping, like literally sound like he rapping. Like I remember one time he said, "Your pastor is the new FBI agent," and they did this. I'm like,
probably sad. I was like in front of the mirror trying to figure out which facial expressions will be best for that.
He does come off as a parody, but
yeah,
like I said, he's the type of person, I agree with him 70 to 80%. The other 30 to 20, I'm just like, bro, I don't agree with your conclusions. I think you need to reel it in a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And just because I think as Black people, if we don't agree on something, the C word doesn't have to always be thrown. The word, I'm not going to say it on here because, what it is, but y'all know what I'm saying. But I think as African Americans, we can come to a thing where we could disagree, but still be on the same accord.
Yeah.
And I think with him, sometimes he discounts that and sees that as like, oh, you're that side, which it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, like I had my own issues with him personally for some of these illusions that he made that were almost conspiracy theories, like this underhanded secret political agenda abroad to suppress the minority groups, with the Asian Americans being honorary whites. I was like, whoa, dude, I need you to take it back a notch. Then he made some more generalizations, some gross inaccuracies, primarily with President Biden and our politics with Asia, the continent of Asia. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but from a couple of my notes that I wrote down, President Biden is also a very progressive president, one of the most progressive presidents we had in American history, modern American history. But he's still a traditionalist at his core, so that means he's Catholic, he's cisgendered, he's an affluent white man with a long history of serving in the military. So it just makes sense for him to pass a bill in Congress to protect his constituents and build that solidarity among them. And just to go a little bit deeper into it, one of the things I had a problem with was these members just happen to have, high occupational status, primarily in, these upper echelon groups that are characteristically conservative. These are doctors, these are surgeons, these are other high status positions, and those positions just happen to be held by a certain group of people of a certain class, I guess.
Okay, yeah, Smart, I'm dumbfounded that you just disappeared and you just went to a new place in like 2-3 seconds. That was some magic trick.
Bro, don't worry about what I'm doing. Keep talking. I'm listening. Don't worry about it.
I had to bring that up.
I mean,
it's the black magic Dr. Umar be talking about most of the time.
Hey, yeah. But to what you said about the politics side, I'm not gonna touch deep into that. But where I agree with him is, has Biden done anything to protect black people as of yet? Not so much. From what I've been seeing on CNN and the news, there is like more legislation for protesters to stop protesting than there is to protect black men from getting shot. So from that standpoint, Dr. Umar, I agree with you, but I can't knock the Asian, bill, because you can't, like, the inaccuracy that he said that I think got a lot of people upset when you said the Asian thing. He said 1 year. Bro, you can't say a culture of people have had this for only 1 year and say that publicly. I know we've had our problems longer, but you can't say Asians have only had this issue for a year. That's insensitive, But you can make your point that for us, there should be a legislation, but not to knock them. I felt like that was, not cool. And also his criticism of what's the tennis player?
Naomi.
Yeah, I thought I get where he's coming from. Like I said, I get where he's coming from, but yet again, you can't tell somebody because they don't represent this country, they are not for black people.
Right.
It is right.
She still be repping. She still be repping for the black people. That's the thing. Like, just because you're not representing, Haiti, she's still doing her thing, making noise for us.
Representing for Haiti right now, there are political problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, Haiti's not to say she can't, but it's just like, why does that matter?
Because it's the Olympics, I guess. I mean,
to me, it don't matter. It's just like, it don't matter if she represents Japan or Haiti.
Yeah, probably. In all honesty, it's probably just easier. Just easier to just go to Japan. Like, okay, I can represent Japan and do this. That's cool. I'm down with that. Because she was 17 when she first played. Like, she was a child. I'm sure she wasn't thinking of this stuff. I'm sure her mom wasn't thinking about this stuff, or whoever allowed her to. She's somebody who grew up liking Serena Williams and all that stuff, and he's just gonna put all this agenda on her. Just like, maybe she was a kid that wanted to represent a country where like they would just accept her right away, and she didn't have to worry about nothing. Just like that.
Yeah. So I mean, stuff like that is where he kind of loses me. So I'll say for me personally, the only thing that like I agree with him on is how they police us. With the whole Ma'Khia Bryant thing. I get why that thing happened to her because of, the weapon that was used, she used. My only question, and this may be controversial, but I have to say it. If Ma'Khia Bryant was white and she had a white name, would she have got shot? And I think that's a fair question to ask. If anybody, has, do you think that's not a fair question to ask?
No, that's fair.
That's my only thing. But I do get why force was used in that situation.
Yeah.
I mean, she had a weapon and she approached an officer. I'm going to leave my own feelings out of this. But just on paper, from what was reported, like, that's a offense in itself. You can't just run up on somebody with a weapon.
Yeah, she ran up on. So what she did was she ran up on another person with a knife, and then he rang off 4 shots. So in that situation, although there's other methods to de-escalate.
Yeah, there's a million other ones.
But in that sense, you see somebody going to possibly get killed. I understand that thing. But yet again, we have seen, mass shooters who are, white, and people and they get, sent to the police. So I'm just saying a fair question can be asked if she was white.
They love to brag about these extendo tasers and whatnot, but you rarely ever see them like used and stuff. So, but like for real though, because like them tasers go a good distance.
Oh yeah,
it's not like they're just like 5 feet away. They travel a good distance.
Oh yeah,
and so they like to like say like, yeah, I can get you from over here with my taser. Okay, so how far was he from her versus she was from the girl? Could he actually hit her with the taser? Like again, like this case it does make sense that like he like I mean it doesn't make sense, but it's more of a fighting argument, I guess you could say, that he drew his gun. I don't really agree with it because
me neither.
The extendo taser and everything, but it's more justifiable than a lot of these cases that we see. Still not justifiable, but there's at least in his case there was another life involved.
Yeah. So from that standpoint, I understand. But yeah, what Chris said, I agree with 100%. And yeah, I mean, Dr. Umar, man, I think he's just the guy that likes to shake the room. He's a guy I wouldn't take.
I mean, yeah, that's his whole. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I wouldn't take what he says at 100% value or truth. But I like guys like him because just for me personally, like when he's talking about interracial relationships and for people and the reasons why people do it, to fit into other cultures and not doing much for ours, or having this mentality of like, yeah, I want a light-skinned child because he'll be accepted, or I want a kid with a different name because he can be accepted in another culture. These are good things to talk about.
I have a question for you, just because it came up briefly a few times. So, just because when we have children, what is it? One of the things is we want better for them, and we want them to, fit in with a certain society, be a certain economic class, all these other contributions. So would you guys think it's necessarily wrong or just bad for you to want better for your children, even if that meant trying to protect them, I guess, being in a different class? Not class. We do have a class system in America, but still.
If I could tackle this first, I don't think it's guaranteed. I don't think it's ever guaranteed that you're gonna be treated better if you're in a different class.
My counter would be
in life. No, I was just saying, like, I mean, nothing's really ever guaranteed in life. Like, not to say it's sad, no, but like, you never know what tomorrow. Like, you can wake up tomorrow and get hit by a car. Like, and that your class has nothing to do with that. So, like, I would say for the most part, I mean, you kind of have to put yourself and whoever you want to be in in the best situation possible. So like for all of us, our parents busted their ass, got us through college for us to be in a situation where we don't have to rely on them after the age of like 25. Like we can all go out there and make our own money and do our own thing because they put us in the best situation. So not everybody's parents do that for them. Some parents be like, fuck it. Once you're 18, by all means, do you. And that's not really setting up your child to be living up to their full potential. That's just saying like, hey, I did my part. I raised you till you're an adult. Now you're an adult. It's up to you to go make the choices you want, whether they're good or bad.
Yeah. And just to go on to Shamar, what he said, like, if you're, because our parents, they didn't really have a choice. They had to, they had to bust their butt to get where they're at. So I think when you're going into that situation where you're wanting to get married, like, do it with good intentions from the heart. Don't do it for economic reasons, because at the end of the day, bro, you still have to deal with real life issues. You know what I'm saying? You still have to deal with real life issues. Like, you still have to deal with race. You still have to deal, regardless of what class you think you're in, you still have to deal with these issues.
Yeah, but my whole thing is, if I'm making if I'm like wow, I'm about to cross some lines. I feel bad even saying this, but like, if I am Puerto Rican or whatever, and my skin is dark, my hair is dark, and I speak, hard Spanish, right? So if I'm coming over to the country when in the early 50s or whatever, and I'm getting, bashed or whatever for, just being, who I am, and I want to go ahead and marry a white girl just because my children can have better lives if they don't look like me. How is that still seen as like, not having the right heart or whatever?
I don't see that, because why don't you this is my thing. You should love yourself. You shouldn't think that marrying, that's not, because at the end of the day, light-skinned kids have issues too. They have issues.
I'm talking if they look and act white and sound white and everything else in between.
But it's not, but Avery, not because it's not, it sounds like we're going to argue, but I'm trying to come to you like, it doesn't matter. People have issues regardless of what their skin color is.
Okay, I'm not saying it's a matter of skin color. I'm just saying,
like, so if you think, hey, yo, I'm black and I want to marry a white woman, that's going to change. You still got issues.
But I think what Avery's trying to say is more of, you kind of look at, if anything, you're kind of saying about yourself, like, all right, I'm going to bite this bullet. I'm going to be me. I can't change what's happened to me. If anything, I'm going to do the utmost for my kids to make sure they are going to be treated better and be looked at differently than when I would be treated and looked at differently.
Yeah.
I think that's the main point of hate. Like, if anything, you're just saying, like, I'm a lost cause. Let me make sure my kids are going to be straight for the rest of their life.
Because what he's kind of getting to is like what y'all talking about earlier, like marrying into a different class per se. Like while this person may not be doing better than you financially, like just like outwardly, like they are not a threat, as opposed to like two dark-skinned people walking around, whether it be two men or two women, whoever.
Okay.
What else we kick? Let me get my stuff off first.
I know,
I see you boiling here because you do have a point. You're making sense. Because you're making sense, Peter. You're making sense.
I am boiling.
But people do come with this ideology. People do. That's how we have this conversation.
And that's my issue. Why is it that if I'm black, I have to be looked upon as a threat?
Because people.
That is we should be able to love each other regardless of what color we are.
I mean, we should, but
it should not matter. But I should not be. That's your problem. Then that your mind is messed up. Your mind is messed up because it shouldn't matter if I'm black or if I'm light skinned or if I'm white. I shouldn't think that, if I have a kid, if he's white or lighter, he has a better life. What is that? What type of
if that's the case, that's not just an American thing. Like, you go anywhere, if you go to Africa,
I tell you a personal story. I've had a family member tell me, "Hey, yo, I want the next generation to be lighter,"
which is stupid. But at the same time, like, you have to get.
What do you think of me then? What do you think of me?
Of course, yeah, it sucks for you because, like, I mean, like you said, nobody should ever view anybody in that view, like, of that viewpoint where, like, just because you look differently, you look differently, like, you're below me. Like, that should be never the case. No matter, like, I could be 10 times smarter than you, but just because you look lighter than me, that means you're above me. Like, nah, that's not the case. Like, worst comes to worst, I will beat you in everything we do. I'm smarter than you, case closed. But you have to look at it. I would say more look at it on an international standpoint. Like, if you go to, like, more, like, countries, like, if you go to India,
developing world,
and let's just,
That's not PC anymore.
Say developing world, not
sorry. Chris, bleep that out. Bleep that out. I don't want the fans
I got
to get mad. I don't care, get mad. All right, no, okay, but so if you go to a country like India, and then, like, you always see, like, lower class citizens always want their daughters, let's say daughters, always want them to marry the prince, because eventually they know that they're either setting their lineage, like the rest of the family lineage is going to be set for life. Like, the daughter's going to be good because you're marrying a prince, you're royalty now. Like, everybody always wants to marry into royalty. So in reality, just everybody wants to do the best. So as a parent, like, sometimes you just some parents would look at it like, all right, I will bust my ass to make sure I do everything just to make sure. Or even, like, for, like, AAU tournaments is actually, all right, this is actually a good example. Forget the Indian one, throw that one out, cross it out. But, like, how parents, like, would travel, pay thousands of dollars each summer for their kid to play AAU basketball, just knowing that potentially they have a good chance of going to an NBA. Like, sometimes you just gotta, like, parents realize, like, hey, my time is coming past. I can't do anything about that. I can't change what happened. But let me make sure my kids are set up to be the best, or to at least have the opportunity to do whatever their heart desires, no matter what. And eventually, like, hopefully we do get to a point in the world where nobody's viewed as different just because they look different or they sound different. Because that is a big problem everywhere in the world, like everywhere, no matter where you go, there's always going to be some type of classism based on what you look like. And it's a bad thing, but that's just the case of right now.
Yeah, which is the whole argument for the people who say, like, I don't see skin color type thing. Like, because like in a perfect world, that wouldn't make a difference. Like, okay, fine. You don't see, so you just see a person. That's cool. But that's in a perfect world. In our world, if you say that means you're probably ignoring minority groups such as Black people, Asian people, whoever, to their own inequities. And so it kind of just like loops back if you get where we're coming from there.
Yeah, I mean, like, yet again, I just it's a personal thing for me because
no, like what you're saying is correct. Like no one has beef with that. Like I think like we should be like looked at as the people what we are, not just for our skin color.
But I'm not saying people don't see race. I'm just saying that mindset that if I am lighter, that automatically says, hey, they're gonna have a better life or they're gonna be treated better. That I think that's false.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's what I was coming to. So
gotcha.
for somebody,
like whoever's, I think it was Avery's example, talking about dude coming here and marrying the white lady, like, but like in their mind, like they would be like, well, I know back at home the lighter skinned people were treated better. So if my kids are light skinned, if I marry this white lady, my kids will be lighter than me. So they'll probably be treated better than I am. And they might be a little bit, maybe not much, but probably a little bit. If depending on, of course, the town demographic as well.
Yeah.
if they're still, the second darkest, then it doesn't help at all. But
there's a lot of determining factors. But I just think for me, like, and again, it's a personal thing. I think because there was a generation that thought like that.
Yeah,
there's still plenty of generations.
and then from what I've seen,
think like that still.
And from what I've seen, the generations that have, they have light skinned kids. Some of these kids, they have identity issues. They're going through a lot. They don't know if they Black or if they white. So I think when we have that mentality, we have to look at, bro, regardless of what color you are, there's a problem. There are going to be problems. And that's what I'm that's my whole spill on that.
Yeah. I hear you.
Totally see that.
Side note, though, if there's any ladies out there 6'3" up that are super athletic, get your boy up, because we're trying to make some NBA babies.
Bro.
I'm gonna make sure my kid is set up for life. Look, hey, I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna make sure my kid
is 6'3". I like it.
Yeah, I will bring a measuring tape at all. Don't try to come in here 6'2.5". I want 6'3" and up.
Yeah,
basketball count.
Hey,
you're gonna see Shamar some WNBA games courtside.
Yes.
Trying to find a wife.
Say, how tall are you, miss? Can you dunk? No, that's fine. Let me see you like
grab rim.
Yeah, that's all I want. If you can grab rim, we're good to go.
Oh man, but you see what Dr.Umar done did? He done.
yeah. Hey,
like I said, it's a good conversation though. I'm not gonna, but on to other Black people that have a lot of opinions. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey thinks that men can't have female friends. Now, let me add some context to this. So there was an interview, and this interview is old. They asked him if he could have female friends, and he was like, well, I can't because, I'm a married man. He's like, and then he'd be like, well, what's wrong with that to have female friends? He's like, well, if she's my friend, I am basically indicating that when I'm only a friend because I can't have her. That's what he's basically saying. I'm only a friend because I can't have her. I can't do anything with her. And when she makes it known, or if there is a crack in the hole, as he said, I'm going to take advantage of that. What do you guys think of that logic? Avery,
that is a Negro.
Yeah,
that is a Negro thinking.
I mean, he said it.
Okay. So I personally, I would say yes, it can happen, but there has to be a strict boundary that neither parties can cross. But I'm just like, why is Steve hanging around them? If he said he can't have them, we gonna pick up a ground ball. So I mean, that's a double standard. Like, time out, dude.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to go first? Because I mean, apart from Abe, because he went first.
Okay.
Shamar, Chris, you want
to go ahead, Shamar, if you want to. I got a lot to say.
Oh, well, all right. I guess I'll go first then. Well, I think for the most part, I mean, I get what he's saying, that like a lot of guys who do have girlfriends, if they were given the chance, they probably would take it. Yeah. But in the same breath, I mean, I have plenty of friends, girls that are friends that I would not even consider doing anything with. I think at that point, even if I had the chance, I probably still wouldn't, just because at this point, it's turned into more of like a brother-sister relationship more than a friendship, in which you have to be friends before it gets to that level. So in reality, kind of stupid logic. Like, that's really old head logic. But at the same time, I would say as a single guy, wouldn't you want to have more friends that are girls so they bring more of their friends around? Because then boom, that opens up your options a lot. And then she can easily throw you a lob, a slight assist. But hey, that's just what I think about it. I mean, I'm assuming you guys are probably similar. But yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, he old school. That is a very 50s, 60s man logic. I mean, did you see him in the versus battle? Yeah. The Earth, Wind, and Fire. This man could tell. He can tell stories. So yeah, he would think like that. But for me, I have female friends that I try to go out and then it turned into a friendship. Yeah. And, I'll be honest here. If there was a crack in the hole, would I have tried to, shoot my shot again?
Yeah.
But that's not always the case, Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
I have a lot of female friends that when I saw them, we were just friends initially, and that's what it's always been. I don't want to go at them like that because they're just my friends.
It's kind of sloppy too. Like,
slimy kind of.
Yeah, like in my lifetime, I've had countless of female friends that I've never thought of like that have honestly given me better advice than even men. Like, the best advice I'll be real with you. The best advice I've gotten, friend advice, I've come from females. So
hurting my heart.
Yeah, so it's like I really think he's very old school. Like, he's like, it's female friends. Everybody has a female friend. You can't he has female friends. He's just being, trying to sell a book or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
like a man. Is that one?
Yeah, it's a movie. It's a book and a movie.
Okay, did he do that one, or was it somebody else?
No, it was him.
Okay. It was him.
No, I think this is incredibly stupid. Because like when I first saw this and I heard the interview, I think I saw it when it first came out, actually a while ago, and even then, same reaction. Even more disgust now, seeing it a second or third time, however many times I've seen it, and it's just like, okay, so for you to even like get to the point where you are like basically itemizing this person, or rather objectifying this person, just because like they're the opposite gender of you, you have to like not only like be like, okay, well, if I'm with this person, I don't care about my wife. You have to eventually get somewhere to that ideology, like, and then another thing is like you don't understand boundaries at all, apparently, because like, yeah, you can't like Shamar said earlier, like for a significant other, whoever, like you can start off as friends and then or rather ideally you start off as friends and then you become significant others or whatever. Like, that happens, and that's cool. That's fine. That's natural. It happens. You don't even have to look at each other like that in the beginning to eventually develop feelings for each other like that. Because again, if it just happens naturally, it might just happen like that. That's fine. But for what he was saying, he's literally just looking at every woman like a piece of meat. And just because somebody is attractive does not mean you necessarily have to like look at them in that way. Because again, but again, like just for him to get to there, like he does not understand like what a boundary is or what a friend is for that matter. because he's like, unless like if I'm a hint attracted to you, that means, you know, like there's a chance I might cheat. He has a history of cheating. So for somebody like him, he probably cannot have female friends because he doesn't know self-control. So he can't, or boundaries for that matter. So he's like, you know what? She's pretty. I can't be her friend. For him, okay, fine. But for people who have self-control or can hold a decent conversation without trying to objectify somebody in some type of way, form, even if it's just in the back of your mind, other than, you know, because again, like it's okay to think somebody's attractive and like be friends with them and not have to objectify them. But I don't like, again, like y'all said, it was old school thinking, but it's just like he he just doesn't get it. I don't know how to put it, whether he just doesn't get it. He just doesn't get what friendship is, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. To piggyback off what you said, Chris, like you said, he doesn't have self. He's been married 3 times.
Yes.
And, you know, that mentality is definitely like a cultural thing back in the day, you know, because I'll just be real. A lot of these cats back in the day, they were worse than people. They want to say, hey, they believed in, they would listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire. Oh, we really love women and we really had their back. And, you know, back in the day, back in the day, y'all was messing with this. That mentality is a mentality of a guy that wants to get around with a lot of women.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy, what's his name? Eddie Murphy. Yeah, he has like what, 17 kids or whatever? Or was it 10?
Eddie has 10.
Yeah, and then
you talking about DMX was 17.
Yeah,
DMX was 17.
Damn.
I was about to bring him up, and I'm just like, why are you guys not wrapping it up? Like, I get condoms weren't cool back then, but like, I don't want like 17.
It still ain't cool today.
Hey, yo, you know, funny story. I seen DMX live, right? And X was talking about how, like, you know, his first time, right? He said, hey, yo, that first time I took that off, whoo, I felt different. He said, I never wanted to put it back on again. And I got 17 kids.
It's like, how do you even make time for all the, like, you had to be like broke by the end, right? Like, you got baby, I don't even know what babies cost. Like,
a lot.
Enough.
No, doesn't the wife get alimony or something?
Probably.
It's like,
yeah.
Just wrap it up.
Not to be negative on X, but that child support was a thing in his career. Like,
yeah,
that was a story. But yeah, I think, you know, Steve Harvey, man. I'm not with you on this. This is
again, it's just like, I don't know, because even if like she's the one who's tempting him, that like I'm sure he's powerful enough to get out of any situation he wants to for the most part. If he's in an uncomfortable situation,
oh yeah,
he's not like some intern that's being cornered or anything.
Why you say intern?
Because like, you know what I'm saying, like or some personal assistant or something like on set or whatever.
It can't be used as a power move to get him to.
I mean, have you seen the mayor in New York right now? He's sexual harassment.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not discrediting any of these people, but you know, Me Too is still a thing. Me Too movement.
Yeah. Another point, like you saying, like Chris, you were saying about his lack of self-control.
Yeah.
He's in the industry. Yeah, they think a little.
Yeah.
Swingers and all of that. They think a little different. You saw Will and Jada and the entanglement thing. You dig? There's a
bad marriage for
all
life.
That dirty laundry out there.
I'm just saying the thinking and the logic is a little off, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
rich people problems.
yeah, but
Be nice.
yeah. Off of Steve, let's get to some other guy who I know has made songs like Lust and Love. Kendrick Lamar. Yeah. In my opinion, the best rapper out right now. Well, he hasn't been out in a while, but when he is, he's the best. So there's rumors out there that he's gonna drop on the 7th of May. And also J. Cole is rumored to be dropping sometime in May as well. There was a question that was asked because Kendrick is one of the greatest out here. Is Kendrick Lamar the most consistent rapper album wise?
I'm just saying this channel rides Kendrick like hard.
We know. We probably
do they? Man,
we have hey Avery. We have a new member. He's part of the OVO.
Okay, I'm gonna bring us out because I swear, like,
let me go find my OVO hat, right? So, nah, it's upstairs. I'm gonna say, hey,
But yeah, that's a question. Since we've said a lot about Kendrick, how about Shamar Go? Because I know he has he works for OVO. Let's see what he would say.
Brad, don't talk about my payroll, all right? Come on now. Don't talk about my payroll. OVO shams on the beat. No, I mean, I like Kendrick. I think he's a great rapper. Arguably one of the greatest out right now. Arguably, to be determined. Mm-hmm. Not really to be determined. I mean, for me, I wish he would put out more albums often. Like, not like he doesn't be every year, but like give us something every 2 years. Like, Damn dropped when we were back at Frostburg.
That was 3 years now.
Was it like 2017? Yeah, it's been damn near 4 years, my guy. Like, I get it. You're a master craft. Hey, perfect the craft, but come on, dog. But he hasn't even put out like a single or anything.
Well, he did put out the Black Panther project.
Yeah. He was also on an EP. I forget who it was though. It wasn't Anderson. I was surprised to see him.
Who was that? Because I know what you're talking about. Because he was featured on it. It wasn't him.
Yeah, he was like on like third or something.
I forget.
See, but like if he put out like a single every once in a while, I think then all right, I can kind of hand you the crown, but like you kind of just disappear.
Yeah,
like you're not Aang the Avatar, bro. You can't just disappear and reappear whenever the fuck you feel like. We ain't not.
To be fair, what's his name? Has a kid around roughly the same age, so you can't just claim that he has a kid now. He can't come back to the scene. And I mean, there's been plenty of other artists that have done that. And I don't know what his deal is. Why he's so slow to come out with new music and everything.
I mean, I just think he's trying to perfect the craft, which is
I totally get
fine. Mm-hmm. But yeah, at the same time, like, give us some more consistency. Like,
but it's also
if we
because like I didn't mean to interrupt you there neither, but it's just like it's genius because it's like he's putting out an album like every 3 to 4 years now, and so like us, like we'll hear him like, oh, this is a great album, this class. Well, like scratch to Pimp a Butterfly, because that was a slow burn for everybody, not me, because I was on it the whole time. But like people, it's well, for I know me and Peter think so, but he and I don't know about y'all too, but like for us, he definitely has all his albums out, 4 albums, 4 classics, and they do take a while for them to come out, or rather, at least this one's taking a while to come out. But it's just like I feel like he's doing that to like not saturate his content. So you'd be like, well, I heard so much Kendrick already. I heard this all this already. So he's just like, you know what? I'm going to take a break. I'm going to see how the public feels. When it seems like they really want me, I'm going to come back. If they don't, I'm going to wait longer. Kind of like a painting type thing, if you will. If that makes sense.
In reality, he's got to do the album with Cole that's been supposed to happen since 2012. I'm about to say that's if anything, that's the album everybody wants.
That would be
like the solo album, cool. We just want the Cole Kendrick album. Give us that.
Yeah. As far as is, I think, you know, Kendrick to me, and I get your point, Shamar. Like he hasn't put out much in the past few years. It's kind of I'm like, yo, dog, put something out. Come on, bro. I thought last year he was gonna put some stuff out, but as far as if we look at should we start from Good Kid? Do you want to start from Good Kid, Mad City, or what's the Section 80? Right, that was first.
You could start at Section 80, but
right.
Good Kid, Mad City, his first actual.
All right, let's talk about his first. Okay, Good Kid, Mad City, Damn, and then no, Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn.
Yeah.
If I'm like looking at runs within that last decade, album wise, I don't know. Like, I would say this: Jay-Z's never did that. Nas never did that. Eminem maybe. Kanye probably the only one I can think of. You know, Drake.
Don't you dare lie to yourself and say that he ain't. Don't
Drake,
you dare lie.
Drake is very polar. No, because everybody thinks I hate Drake. Drake is a polarizing artist. He don't really make necessarily like hip hop rap albums. He gives you a balance. It's like the R&B and the rap and the grimy stuff from UK and then dance hall. He gives you so many different things. So his albums don't really resonate with me because the singing sometimes throws me off. I'll just say that. Throws me off. But Drake, as far as not his albums, but like his hit one, I'll give you that over Kendrick.
I feel like Drake has a better pulse on the overall, zeitgeist, the culture of like youth per se.
Yeah.
Because like he knows what these kids want to hear. He knows what the young people want to hear. Rather, he knows like the music that will get everybody dancing in the club at the same time. You might be playing this in your car too, and it's on the radio.
Yeah, he has a talent for predicting the next trend.
People be like, it's so annoying, but then it's on like 1,000 TikToks or something like that.
Yeah, he has that. Back in the day, you would say like that Jay-Z thing. He knows what trend is coming.
Yeah, I think that's I don't know. I feel like it's some weird sixth sense that he has. Just to be able to be so transitional really shows his talent as an artist.
A lot. He does that so much. People are, I don't agree on this point, but people are saying he's cultural appropriating. Which
I mean, everybody does it though. So it's now let me not say everybody, but like a lot of the main people do it now. So where it's like, I mean, you got to take stuff from other cultures to like broaden your fan base to make it more acceptable for people to come in and feel like, oh, all right, I see Peter's listening to this type of music. Me and Peter don't really look the same. We kind of listen to very different music, but we like this song together. So maybe there's a common theme that we can get along with. You feel me?
Yeah. I think it's, and this is the few times that I like really have to defend her, but I think cultural appropriating, people forget that the meaning of that is the lack of respect.
Yeah.
You can never accuse Drake of not respecting culture.
Yeah.
He just does it because he knows, this sounds good. So, but I think
he also knows it's going to get people talking about him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with the whole heart in his head. I mean, we were talking about him for weeks.
Oh, well, that no appropriation there. That's just
that's just what?
Don't get. I said that's just. I was gonna say that Peter's about to have a fit again, guys. Relax.
No, tomorrow you said something. That was what?
Bruh, ain't nothing, bruh. That's sweet, for real. I think I was gonna do the same shit, but I was gonna do like mine and bleach, for real.
Listen, you all know what that was. That was
like, just kidding. It's already there.
Yeah, I would cry, bro.
That would have been a good setup, though. Right. Like, well, boom, psych. Nah, but Drake's the guy.
Yeah.
And I feel like even with the culture appropriation stuff, like, he doesn't, like, I would say he does like copy a lot of cultures, but he also brings in people like pretty popular in that culture on songs, and that opens like what's the one song with the UK dude, Skepta? He has a song with him. Yeah, he has a couple songs with him, but I guarantee nobody in the US would really know who Skepta was unless you really were like down into like the England rap scene. to know. But like now, I'll guarantee you a good portion of hip hop heads probably know who Skepta is now, probably listen to him on a consistent basis because of Drake. Same thing. I mean, Bad Bunny was already popping, kind of on the come up, but like him hopping on a song with Drake took him from like, all right, people know you to like, yo, people know who you are.
Right.
What's the song he did with Bad Bunny? Because I thought it was Party.
No, it was MIA.
Oh
yeah, the 2018. That was when Bad Bunny was really starting to put out like real heaters.
I forgot because when you say Bad Bunny, the song I remember is the one with Cardi B that they played on the radio every day. I think yeah. That's
Some would say it's the Drake effect. I mean, Drake just puts people up. I don't see Kendrick doing such things, you know. But hey, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, no, I mean that is a fair comparison. Like
that is a real
the hype that is Drake does carry weight. Like you worked with Drake, you work with Drake. You know, like that will skyrocket your career.
Yeah,
you might not be a superstar, but you definitely making a lot more than what you was.
He's like back in the day, like I don't know who I could think of that's a good example. But you need, like a Chris Brown, God forbid, or R. Kelly. Like, when you get certain features, it's gonna enhance
your career. Yeah,
your career. He's like, Jay-Z. Like,
I mean, that's why everybody wanted to work with Diddy back in the day. Like, if somebody heard that you work with P Diddy, you gotta be solidified. Like, you're certified. You gotta be someone good if he's willing to do something with you. Or like even like the big producer, you have to be somewhat good. Like if Timbaland produced something for you, bro, hold up, wait. Your shit got to be fire. Pharrell produced something for you. Let me give it a listen. Like, let's see what you're about.
Yeah.
In a way, he can inadvertently, keep himself popular by saying, "Hey, I got my name on this with this new guy who's up and coming."
And that's too. Like he definitely does that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, I think when you're looking at all of these metrics, I'll just say this is a personal thing again. For me, I do think the past decade, I'll give Kendrick the albums. If I'm talking hits, I'll probably give that to Drake. That's just me.
And I think that's more than fair. But it's just like, again, like the whole argument to me doesn't really even matter, like who's better and who's not. Cause to me, like just overall, not overall, but like just like pure product, I prefer Kendrick. But if we're talking about like who's going to make more money at the end of the day, who's a better businessman, who knows what he's actually like doing out here to like get this check, oh, that's Drake 100%.
Yeah, it's the man that puts himself out there. Yeah. Like Kendrick is just like, he just seems like he's a keep to myself type of guy. Like, hey, let me stay low to the ground, put the album, boom, and get a little shine back and on the ground, which is cool. That's like that. If I was a musician, I'll probably be that same way. Like, I'm not with like the big glitz and glamour. Like, hey, I'm out.
Okay.
T-Mobile though.
Okay. Shamar, are you anticipating Certified Lover Boy coming out anytime soon?
You know what I'm hearing in the circle, OBO Shan's out here. You know what I'm saying? June. It depends on if Kendrick really drops, I think Drake gonna drop. That's really comes down to. I think then that's going Cole's gonna be like, well, I'm gonna give him this year, and I'm gonna come on next year.
Okay.
I can see that. Do you guys foresee any more competition, I guess, as far as the timelines between these two albums?
I don't. I think we were talking about this before you were on here, Avery. I don't think Drake is going to compete with anybody because he's the meal ticket.
I'm Drake. I don't gotta compete.
Yeah, he's the meal ticket. And it's like he has more to lose. It's kind of like and I hate to bring this up. Sorry, the Pusha T Drake thing.
Yeah, it's like why even like there's no. It's a worst case scenario. I'm just losing listens if they drop the same week. Yeah, because people are like you're gonna not force people to choose, but people will feel like they're forced to choose which album to listen to.
Yeah.
And then so you lose on people that are like in between. They're like, oh, I do like Kendrick. I do like Drake. I'm going to listen to Kendrick though. Like Drake, I can always get that next week. And it's all about those first week listens.
Yeah. Personally, I would love to see it because I just love hip hop competition. Like Ye and 50 Cent did it, I think in 2007. And rappers have done it occasionally, and it does bring up the numbers crazy. Because I remember when 50 and Kanye did it. I think Kanye did almost 1 million a year, 1 million in a week, and 50 sold like 700,000 copies in a week. So, and that was when we were buying CDs. So just imagine the streaming numbers. So from that standpoint, I would want to see it, but like I said, Drake, you're not doing that.
I don't even think it's like a true comparison either, because they're going for like different demographics. Like Drake is literally aiming for every living person possible.
Must touch them all with my lover boy.
As opposed to like, even if you play a censored version of Kendrick, any of Kendrick's songs, like it doesn't matter if you're playing for a kid, because that kid's not going to like it, because like he's telling a story and that kid's not going to understand what he's saying probably.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I hope Kendrick, does drop. I hope the title of the album is better, because I'm still not over the fact that a man called it album Certified Lover Boy.
He's a certified lover boy. What can you expect? Y'all want some of my OVO tattoo?
Yeah. But yeah, off that. We do have 2 questions before we wrap up the show completely. Let me pull them up. We have 2. We have 2.
Put his own sound effects in.
Who do y'all have winning the NBA championship?
Me. Next question.
I'm going with Avery.
You got the juice?
All I do
You got the what?
The juice.
Oh, the juice.
Okay. About to do average a triple-double?
Dude, I don't even know what you're saying. I know it has something to do with points. I'm like triple-double. I remember it's hard.
I'll mess with you, Abe. But we all got for real though.
If the Raptors make the playing games, the Raptors will win it all.
Hey, okay. Chris, who you got?
Well, I would like to say my Lakers, but our offense is trash right now. Even with AD back, I know he's still like not 100%, but we looking boo boo.
Yeah, I watched your game last night. LeBron came back, but y'all got to get y'all. I think a lot of teams got to get there, because the net. I would say the Nets, but they also have put Harden back in and ingratiate. Everybody has to ingratiate themselves first before I actually have a person I'm gonna pick. But to be safe, I'm going with the boys in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean that I do feel like that is a safe bet, because even if they're not all healthy, like as long as there's 2 of them, it's still a pretty strong fighting chance.
Yeah.
So I can't refute that either, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll say Brooklyn too, just because I can't really see anyone in the East beat it. Well, I mean, I can see someone in the East beating them per se, but I don't feel like it's going to happen.
Your Lakers don't have a chance to win the championship, Chris?
No, there's always a chance. It just doesn't feel like it's going. It just doesn't. It feels like a lesser chance right now, because we looking not hot. I know it's still time before playoffs, but as of this moment,
if Dion,
I say Dion hears this, he's gonna be like, Chris, we might have to take away your fan pass.
Yeah, Sean is not gonna like what you just said.
I'm here for it. It's cool.
Well, Shamar, you ready to give us a real answer? Because you said the Tampa Bay Raptors. What are they?
Tampa Bay Raptors. Yeah, hey, like I said, if we make the playing games, we're winning it all. I'm ride or die with my team.
Respect.
Yeah. Okay. We can all live in illusions.
Hey, look, you don't want to start this conversation, Peter.
Listen, I know my Bulls are trash.
All right.
Listen, we're work in progress.
You've been a work in progress since Jordan left.
Hey, Derrick Rose.
Work in progress. And what happened to
Derrick Rose? He just got hurt.
Where is he now?
You wanted? Oh man, you gotta bring that up. Hey,
you brought it up. Ain't nobody saying nothing but you.
I said Derrick Rose. You want to say work in progress?
Yeah. What team you play for now? He plays for New York, actually. Never mind.
Oh, shout out to the Knicks, Dylan. They're actually doing.
Yeah, they look good. They do look good.
But yeah,
Julius rank.
I think Chris, you said Nets. I said Nets. Tampa Bay Raptors, and Avery said himself.
And how sick would y'all be next year? Y'all see Avery submitted as a one-man team.
I'm like,
the whole game, bro.
Avery, can we get an interview?
All right.
Maybe.
All right. Let me ask this last question. Oh, this is an interesting one. This is a very interesting one. Why is Shamar and Javon on Team Beige? They're not even light skinned.
Now, hold on. I want to know who asked this question. Because you know who asked it. Who asked the question?
Yeah.
Who asked the question?
Answer the question. No, answer the question.
You answer my question, I'll answer your question.
I don't know. It's anonymous. It's anonymous.
That's Chris, bleep that part out. It's a family-friendly podcast. Bleep that part out too.
It's anonymous.
Bro, you asked the question on IG. You see the name. You see the name tag. No.
How are you gonna accuse me?
Bro, you probably asked the question from your burner account.
A burner account.
Exactly. Look at me. Yeah. Well, why am I on Team Light Skin? Because Peter, like you said earlier, we were supposed to love everyone. I love my dark skinned friends. I love my light skinned friends. I'm just trying to. You are on a better path now with your light skin stuff. But I had to defend my light skinned brothers and sisters from your evil, dark skinned, wicked ways. Because you were trying to put them down. I just want you to raise them up.
Yeah. So the question was, why should you know what, man? I don't know why. I don't know. He just gave you an answer, and it is what it is.
Because of Peter. Peter's the reason why.
Listen, man, I'm nice to everybody. I show love to everybody. I show love to everybody, whether you're as dark as me or as light as whoever. I show love. Nothing but love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was a very interesting question. I like the fact that you answered that.
Thanks, Peter, for your answer to your own question. It probably was one of your brothers, if I'm being honest with you. It
felt like
you're probably like, hey, Sean, type this question in real quick.
Yeah, because I know Javon is also on that team. He can address that sometime later. But yeah, I think those are the only questions we have. But yeah, anything else y'all want to get off your chest before I have to wrap it up? Or should I just wrap it up?
Go ahead, bro.
All right. So that's the show for today. We'll be on YouTube at 3:15 on Monday. Please like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Chris, I love that drop. I love it. Love it. We're on every podcast service right now, even Pandora. Social media page is Out of the Berg on IG. My personal one is Kofi Peter, but I spelled it Peter, Pita now. No underscore. Chris.
You can find me on Twitter at BigChris_57, and you can find me on IG at ChrisKelly57, I think.
Everywhere Sham_Wild12.
He's branded.
Avery, go.
And you can find me, Avery, at KOOPA on IG.
All right. Like I always say, stay black, we love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Out of the Berg podcast. We're available on all podcasting platforms, and we ask that you like, comment, share, and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever we release a new video. And as always, we like you, we love you, but we gotta go. Bye.